Pour up. Living our best lives in bed. Cheers. I'm like, is he over 6 feet? Because that's all I need to know.
There's no camo in France.
Do you feel like red flags and icks are the same thing? No, right? Okay, let's get into that. Not me being nervous. Hey guys, it's Gabby, and today we have
Matilda,
and we're gonna be filming a video all about dating in Paris, red flags, and just men in general. So we were having a conversation at dinner about, you know, our experiences dating so far and how we feel like, especially on dating apps, it's kind of hard to tell our red flags coming from like the US versus like Europe. So yeah, this basically sparked this idea of like, you know, dating in Paris and the differences. So we just wanted to get into it.
Tell you, say you wanna get away. We don't need a plane, could be your escape.
Okay, you were saying that like you couldn't tell.
Yeah, the US ones don't translate.
They don't
over.
apply, right?
Yes.
Lost in translation.
Yeah.
Okay. So then maybe like what's your red flags from the US? Because I think you might have a list.
I do have a list.
Okay, can you please share this list with us?
I have an extensive list.
Okay, I'm excited
And
to hear this. And is this specifically for dating apps or just dating in general?
Most of them are for dating apps.
Okay.
Some of them are all the time, but
Okay,
this is kind of like,
in general.
you know, you see it and you're
Right.
just like immediately
Immediately no.
Any hunting or fishing pictures?
Oh my god, immediately no.
I don't want to see a dead deer ever, especially as I'm swiping on Tinder. Like, no. So I've been scarred by some of the ones that are like holding the head.
Yeah, like
That's
carcasses.
disgusting.
Yeah.
The fishing is bad enough.
Right.
Like, that's also a no.
See, but that's the ones that doesn't, like that's one of the ones that doesn't translate.
It doesn't work here.
Right. No, you'll never see anyone like with a dead anything.
No, because like the hunting, fishing, any kind of camo,
Right?
like that goes along.
Nobody wears camo.
There's no
here.
camo in France.
I didn't realize like that's an American thing.
And then also any car pictures. I feel like that doesn't translate here as well.
Do you mean like them in their car?
Yeah, them like in their car, posing in front of their car.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, that's valid. Yeah,
they don't have cars here.
They don't have.
So.
You're so. I didn't even think about that one. But is that a turn off for you?
It's just like,
Why are you flexing?
that's your best picture. You have 5 pictures
You
to
coming
choose
out of your
from.
car.
Like, that's the best you could come up with.
Yeah. Okay, that's
No,
true.
you gotta
Yeah.
work harder. So this one is confusing for me now, but red flag in the US. If they put their height in their Tinder, like on Hinge you can see it, it's like asks for it.
Right.
But if you just put it in your bio on Tinder and then you're like, because this matters apparently, or you know, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you acting salty about
Right.
this? Like,
Okay.
this is...
So, from my experience being on both Hinge and Tinder a bit, or even Bumble, I've noticed that it is a European thing to put your height.
Yeah.
So it's very common, and it's funny because here they'll put it in like centimeters versus like,
So
you know,
confusing.
exactly. So like literally it's my full-time job to like go and translate or like go on Google whatever
Yes.
and try to like convert the centimeters to feet. I'm like, is he over 6 feet? Because that's all I need to know.
You don't need a 6-foot man, Gabby. I'll tell you again.
I need a 6'5". Thank
No,
you.
you do
Thank
not.
you. Thank you.
No,
Oh,
you're the reason there's no 6-foot men for me, Gabby. I definitely swiped no on some people because I was like, that's a red flag in the US. And then I saw in every single bio.
Yeah.
And I was like,
It's
okay,
common here.
I gotta switch
Right,
that
yeah.
because that's like, I'm gonna not date anyone
Exactly,
if that's the
yeah.
case. If they have Snapchat or Instagram in their bios, I am like, why are you doing that here?
Right.
Are you looking for followers?
Right.
Like, I don't understand. But in Paris, it definitely doesn't have the same connotation to it.
Not at all. And it's funny because like people will even follow you even if they don't swipe on you, or even if they swipe on you and you haven't talked, they'll just follow you, whatever.
Like the first few people who asked, like messaged me on Tinder, asked for the Instagram handle. I was like, that's like the second message you're gonna send me?
What happened to hello? How are you? My name is. What happened to that?
So now that we know like your red flags from the US, which like honestly I agree with almost everything that you said, what do you feel like are your, or would be our like red flags here? Because I feel like I'm still like kind of figuring it out, but I don't know, like do you feel like you come up with a few, or not yet?
It's been very hard. I've only been on it for a week.
Right.
So.
Oh yeah, guys. She's only been here for a week. She's new. Okay.
I'm learning very fast. Yeah. So it's been hard to kind of shift the mindset of like, what are my immediate no's that here are the norm.
Right.
So.
Or they might not even have it.
They might
not see it. Yeah.
So yeah, things that I know are not going to come up, like there's no like, I mean there is a military in France, but you don't see the same military guys.
That's true.
Like,
that's so true.
Up.
Oh my goodness. You're so,
so
right.
Like that's like half the population of the dating apps in the US.
Yeah.
All of the fratty douchebags were on Tinder.
Yeah.
Everyone else was on Hinge.
And that's another thing. There's no like fratty douchebags to swipe on.
Where are the frat boys?
So it's like, okay, now I'm really trying to think like, what are my red flags like being in Europe? Because I really don't know. And like here, like I feel like for what I look for, it's like guys who like to travel, like guys who are like kind of artsy and stuff like that. And I feel like living in Paris, everybody's that's like everything. That. Like everyone travels, like that's just a part of the lifestyle. Like everyone's pretty, not everyone, but like a lot of people are like creative for the most part. So
they
it's
all
like
dress well.
They all dress really nice. So it's like, that's why we swipe right. Basically, so maybe there are any red flags. You guys are doing everything right. I don't know, but like. Yeah, I don't know. Do you feel like you swipe right more here versus the US?
Definitely.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
By far.
Yeah. Okay, so like getting into the apps, like, do you have a preference Tinder? Whoa. Do you have a preference
Oh, you.
Hey.
One glass down. Okay.
Do you have a preference Tinder, Hinge, or Bumble?
I have not downloaded Bumble here.
Okay.
Bumble in the
guys, already. Okay.
I don't use Bumble that much. But for Tinder and Hinge, I have them both because
why not?
Why not?
You're in Paris. Duh, single in Paris. Yeah.
On Hinge here, I was disappointed by
Really?
the like guys that I was seeing.
In terms of what?
Attractiveness on the most shallow level.
Yeah, no, it's valid.
So I've almost exclusively been using Tinder.
I think Bumble's too much pressure, and like kudos to the guys who like send like, I don't know how y'all do it, send messages and stuff like that. Like I know we like preach for equality, but y'all can have that. But yeah, so
that's our compensation.
Yeah, no, literally reparations. But I like Tinder better just to see who's here. Like it's just so easy to like swipe and be like, okay, this is like who exists in like Paris or whatever city you're in. But then Hinge, I like it more because like I like just knowing a little bit more about the person. Yeah. For me, I think Hinge is like first, and then Bumble and Tinder might be tied, to be honest. I use them. I barely use them both equally, if that makes sense. Yeah. Yes. I don't know. I've been on a few first dates here in Europe, and I feel like they don't really compare, or they're just not the same as the US. And so for me, I feel like in the US, like we're kind of serious, like we're like, it's a first date, like we're gonna go get food at a restaurant, or we're gonna go to the movies, like it's a big thing that you plan. But here it's very casual, and it's very much so like, let's go grab a drink, let's go walk around like Paris or whatever. And so sometimes it feels like there's no effort behind it, but it's also the culture and the lifestyle. Like, do you feel like you'd prefer like a planned out date, or it doesn't really matter? I don't know.
I never liked the pressure that the US puts on first dates.
Right.
They were like so intimidating for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, this doesn't have to be so intense.
Yeah,
you know?
so serious.
So I kind of appreciate the idea that the Europeans are more casual. Like, I would love to go walk around the city. That sounds great.
Yeah.
So I don't need to eat that much. Like,
that's true. Yeah. I do like that it's more casual, and honestly I think I prefer something that's like more like active, like something where it's like you can be like competitive, like an arcade or something, you know what I mean, like have like, so it's not serious, you know.
There's also, it's not gonna be as awkward, I feel like,
right?
Because you can't run out of stuff to
exactly like you have a little bit of a distraction or whatever. And I think like you can see like that's an ick when guys are like overly competitive. Like, no, being competitive is fine, but like they can't take an L. Like they can't, like they're just a sorry loser basically. I don't know. I just feel like I've experienced that a little too much. Maybe I should stop going to the arcade.
Maybe you're too good at that. I can't, Gabby.
Maybe, but like that's why I keep going. But yeah, like every time like they lose and then they're like, and like they can't take it out. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm like, we're just having fun. Like I suck at like so many things. You know what I mean? Like who cares? Like guys who just can't have fun. I think
that is definitely an ick for me.
Do you feel like a guy should pay on the first date, and do you think if they don't pay on the first date that it has any meaning whether they like you or not?
I think they should pay on the first date.
Okay.
I don't know that I have much logic to back it up with, other than the fact that like I feel like I'm worth it. So, you know, I probably didn't order anything that expensive anyway. So you can, you know, show me. I guess I take it as like you're showing me that you are putting in the effort for it, right? It's just another gesture. If they don't, I won't like rule them out immediately. Like I can split the bill with you, that's fine. I just feel like you're not putting in as much effort, I guess.
Right.
I would not take it as that they didn't like me. Especially now, I feel like, you know, it is kind of becoming a gray area. Like maybe they're trying to show that they're like supportive of equality, right? You know, something like that. And I'm like, well, no, I still
this
get
is not
75
the
cents to your dollar, but no. But I'm not gonna rule you out for it.
Well, to break it to you, in Europe, I feel like that's another cultural difference where guys here, at least the guys that I've been on, so I don't want to generalize, but like I don't think they have that same mentality where they need to pay for the first date. I think I've been on maybe one, maybe two dates that have paid, and a lot of them haven't, or we'll split it. And I think it's because, and one guy actually even told me, he's like, I prefer when the girl doesn't just assume like, oh, it's on me, like that she offers, and like if I feel like I want to pay, I'll pay, but if I, you know, like if I don't have it or whatever, you know, and I respect it, and like I always offer because I'm like, you never know, and like I don't want to like just assume like someone will just pay for me because they really might not, especially because I've experienced it. So like I think it's a culture difference, and like you might experience like someone paying for you, but like just be ready.
Do you
just have your card.
Do you feel like here it's not like any kind of sign of whether or not they enjoy the date? Or
see, that's what I thought, because they don't take it so seriously, it's so casual, it wouldn't seem weird for you to pay for yourself. But when it happened to me, I was like, oh my god, so he didn't like the date, you know what I mean? And I was like, I thought like we were vibing, we were having a good time, and like he even said later like, oh, I had a good time, da 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 da. So like
are you lying?
So like, and we went on a second date, and you know what I mean? So like, yeah, so like I think it's literally just the culture. So be prepared, guys. Don't expect anyone to pay for you.
Have you ever paid for the whole date? Like not split it?
No.
Yeah, I would take that as a bad sign.
Yeah. And one time I thought the guy was asking me to do that, and I was like, oh my god, like I don't know, like I was like taken aback, but maybe I shouldn't be, but I was like, but he wasn't. But like I thought that's what happened, and I was just like, really? You know what I mean? I don't know why like that took me so like,
no, that I was like, didn't even think of that as an option until like just now.
Yeah.
And like, no, I'll pay for my half, but I'm not paying for the
But then I'm like, is that the double standard? I'm like
okay, but
this is where, you know, reparations. I'm just gonna say that.
You had years and years to collect your money.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's one thing that like kind of threw me off. Like I feel like the men in the US are very much like, I got you, I'll provide for you, da 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 da. And so even if they don't have it, they'll pay. But here it's very much like we each got our own, and I don't think it comes in a like negative from a negative place or whatever. Did you have any stereotypes that you heard or that you just had coming in?
Definitely. I don't know where I heard things from. Just bored with it, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. I heard that they are obviously like flirtatious, I guess.
Okay.
and more touchy kind of. Like the whole culture I feel like is generally more touchy, like the kissing on the cheek and like, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I definitely came in with this idea that, you know, Paris is the city of love, like they're so open about their love and their feelings and very forward, I guess. And also that they move very fast. So that's all kind of my coming in.
Basically everything that I've heard. Forward, emotional, more like emotionally aware, and more romantic is what I heard. From your experience on these apps for a week, what do you feel like, if anything, applies or doesn't apply?
My like gut feeling, definitely more forward. Like threw me off to a certain extent. It's like, what? You want to go on a date like now? Yeah. Like we've talked for an hour.
No, literally. Yeah.
So I guess also like very like moving very quickly.
They move very fast
in all of their relationships. So that threw me off because anytime I talk to a guy on an app in the US, we talked for like 2 weeks and then nothing happened. Yeah. Or
so basically she's saying like after like a few weeks or whatever, then maybe they'll propose the idea of like meeting up. Whereas here it's very common to talk like with just a day or less than a day and be like, hey, do you want to go get drinks? Yeah. And it's like, whoa, like we barely know each other.
I don't even know if you're a real person.
Right. But I think for them it's because one, it's so casual, and two, it's like it's just another way to meet another person. You know what I mean? So it's like no pressure kind of thing. And even like it's on one of the apps. Like I know they have like a no pressure meetup. Like,
oh my gosh, I saw that. And I was like, what does this mean?
See, I thought it was more for like hookups, but I think it's more of like we just get coffee or a drink and see what happens, and like you know what I mean. It's very chill. So yeah, I think the Parisians are just very chill. But yeah, so basically you said that like they are forward, which I agree with. I think here they're very blunt about what they want. Yes. And so you're gonna hear it probably within the first few messages or the first date. And I think it's a good thing if you know what you want. But if you don't know what you want, so okay, we need to work on ourselves. But yeah, like for them it's a good thing. You know what I mean? And for you it's a good thing because okay, I feel like difference. Because they're so forward, it kind of like you're not wasting your time. Yeah. You know what I mean? Whereas the US, like, I feel like sometimes they say what you want to hear. Or they also don't know what they're looking for. So you guys are just kind of like just wasting each other's time, basically. Yeah.
That was a huge thing. Like, you know, I just moved to Paris, so I'm not looking for a super serious relationship like right off the bat. I just want to meet, talk to some people, like see what's up.
So I think that comes with the whole like talking stage that doesn't exist here. Yeah. I've come to learn. Like it's either you guys were friends and then you like each other, you date, or you met on an app or met somewhere, you like each other and you date. You know what I mean? It's like we said, it's very quick and there's no like, oh, we've been talking for 3 months. That doesn't exist.
That's so weird to me.
Yeah. So like one guy that I was, I guess, dating, and by dating I mean like going on dates with, and by dates I mean 4.
So the US talking stage.
Right. Well, yeah, exactly. So we went on 4 dates, and by the 4th date he was basically ready to ask me to be his girlfriend. So this is in like Paris. So yeah, like guys here, like I said, move really fast, and like if they like you, they want to like wife you up, basically. Like they don't wait to like, oh, let me get to know them. I think the get to know each other process is as you're dating. You know what I mean? But not like talking. So yeah, that's like the one big difference, I feel like.
That is huge.
Yeah.
That is so weird.
Yeah, it's really weird.
As much as they're casual about all of their actual dates, I feel like their mindset about dating is
it's pretty like straightforward.
Yeah.
Okay guys, so that was basically it for the video. This was so much fun. Thank you again, Matilda, for being in it and sharing your experience. And if you guys have any other like questions or concerns when it comes to dating in France, leave a question down below. Maybe we'll do a part 2. Maybe we'll do a video about something else. But yeah, that was basically it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Bye.